Hi, this is Gary with Gary Sprinkler Repair Service, and today we're going to show you how to set and program a Toro EC timer. First thing we're going to show you here today is this is auto where it sits if it's in run mode, and it should have the current date or as far as Friday and the time on there. If you wanted to turn it off, you can go over here to off. If you wanted rain delay, you can tell it how many days you want to rain delay it. Otherwise, it's on for normal operation. And I've got this selected to the A program, as the homeowner just has everything with the same watering requirements, so we can leave it in A. If you had a separate watering requirement, let's say you wanted a vegetable garden and you wanted to water that only once a week, you could put it in B program, give it its own start time, give it its own days of the week to water, and tell how long to water, and that's what B program would be for. And C would be if the lawn maintenance guy said they didn't want the lawn watering on Wednesday, you could set the lawns in C program and have it not come on Wednesday, and it could water every day other than that. And then in A program, you could put your plants and have them water every other day. So just different programs for different requirements for your needs. So today, let's move forward with set date and time. First thing, when we come to set date and time, it shows the hour blinking. If the hour was incorrect, plus or minus would change it. If you wanted to then go to the minutes, you hit the next button here. The minutes blink and plus or minus will change those. Hit it again. The day of the week is blinking down here. I'll show you Friday's blinking. Again, if that was wrong, you could change that. Hit it again, and you're back. So that's pretty much it on set date and time. All right, now as far as setting water days, you can see here you have to have it selected to calendar if you want to actually tell it which days of the week to water. So you can see here, we've got it set for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And you can set those specifically if you've got it set for calendar with plus or minus. If you didn't want that, if you wanted odd days or even days, you would just go ahead and make a choice over here. When it's blinking calendar, you hit plus or minus. You can make that decision then. And you can set it for odd or even, and then you're done. So for today, that's set how we want it. We're gonna move on down to set the start time. We only need this timer since it's springtime to run one time per day. And so it's set for 6:30 a.m. And you can see it has only the first start time and only start time. If there was another one, have the number 2 up there. So, and again, I'm using the A program today down here because that's all I'm gonna be using. If I wanted to set a second watering time, I hit the next button over here. And I keep hitting it until I get past all of these. And then I can go to the second watering time. And now you can see it's blinking, and plus or minus would put that in. But I don't need a second watering time. This one has the ability, as you can see, if I keep hitting that, I can go to 3, 4. These aren't the stations, this is how often it would start. And then we're back to the beginning again on the first time and only time it's set to water, 6:30. Normally on these clocks, if you want to get rid of a second watering time, midnight is that position. And if you scroll up to it with the plus sign, it will get rid of that. So it'll say off. All right, next we're going to turn the dial down to set the valve run times, and that's the individual zones on your property, like lawn, planters, vegetable garden, whatever you got. You can see here we've got 5 different zones that are showing up. And if you wanted to have more zones than that, this timer can go all the way up to a multitude of zones. So I'm going to pull the bottom up real quick. You can see these are modules right here, 1, 2, 3. Each module has the ability to add 2 wires for 2 stations. So we can actually see this last clip is flipped up. So if the homeowner wanted, you could add a 6th valve on there. And just by hooking up the wire and flipping that little tab down, and then the timer will recognize it once a wire's there. But since that tab's not flipped down, it doesn't recognize it, hence it's only showing 5 of them here. So, and right now it's saying station number 1 is going to water for 6 minutes. If I didn't want that watering time, I could literally change it with plus or minus. When I'm ready to go on to the next one, hit next. It's blinking the time. I hit it again. It's going to show station number 2. And again, plus or minus would change that time. And it's pretty intuitive. You just keep doing that all the way across. And then the last thing I want to show you here is the season adjust. And what that's for is if you say 6 minutes on zone 1 and 10 minutes on zone 2, it's going to do 100% of what you asked it to do. And if it's going to be super hot for a couple days, And you don't want to have to reprogram all of these 5 stations and then 2 or 3 days later reprogram all the different valve run times here, because the weather keeps going up and down drastically. You can go to your season adjust and use the plus or minus. And let's say it's going to be super hot, you could take it up here and you could go up to 150%, put it back to run, and it'll change them all by 50% longer run time. In the fall, you can go, or when the weather cools down a few days later, you can take it back down over to here, turn it to season adjust, take the minus sign, take it back to 100%, you're done. Put it back to auto, and you're ready to go. And other than that, off is off, and that's pretty straightforward. It does have a 9-volt battery that's good for 4 hours, and that's about it. It does have the ability down here to choose if you're gonna flip the switch for alkaline or NiCad battery, and it does have a glass fuse. And that glass fuse, if you ever come out and have no display, but your transformer's warm, then it means you got power coming in, but no power going out, getting into the timer. And that means more than likely the fuse is blown. And on that little panel that I took off down below, if you look on the back side of that, you can see there's an extra battery or extra fuse right here. So again, if your fuse is blown, you can put an extra spare fuse back in. You can do that while the power's on, and it won't affect you at all. And it does have the ability to have a rain sensor over here. You can see this is currently selected to off, as we don't have one wired up on this timer. So hopefully that helped you today. If you felt like it did, I'd like to ask you, if you get a chance, to like the video, because the more likes you get on YouTube, the better off you are. You get up in the standings a little better. Also, if you felt like this video helped you today, go ahead and hit subscribe, and that's your way of saying thank you back to us, so that you can follow us for any future videos that we come up with in the future. And again, I'm Gary with Gary Sprinkler Repair Service. If you have any questions about this video or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. And I hope you have a great day. Hopefully this helped you out. Take care.